Friends, I want to read something for you because I think we have a lot of this going on here in our country. Advertising fraud, misleading representation of goods or services conveyed through false or fraudulent claims or statements that are promoted by a business or other advertising agent. A statement or representation in an advertisement may also be false or fraudulent when it constitutes a half-truth. According to Section 15 of the Federal Trade Commission Act of the United States, deceptive advertisements are those that are misleading in material respect. This has been interpreted by the court to mean that the deceptive advertisement must affect the purchasing decision of the customer. All forms of fraudulent advertising or abusive advertising are prohibited, as are those leading to errors in the choice of the goods or services that could affect the interests and rights of the customers. And why I'm reading this, I would like to talk about flow. So let us take a little time and talk about flow. Flow advertises their packages, their broadband packages, and they speak about the broadband, the standard packages, premium packages. But I would talk about the standard package. It is saying that in your standard package, you're going to get a max download. Now, they are not saying that you are going to get 100 megabytes per second. They say that is the max that you can get. So they are not pinpointing, okay, you are paying for 100 megabytes per second and that is what you are going to get. What this is really saying here is that you are paying for 100 megabytes per second, but anything between 1 to 100 or anything close to 100 is okay. Alright, anything close to the number is okay. Alright, this is what it is saying here. Now, let us look at this here. Now, flow also is not telling us that there is 2 bandwidth that they have where we could get that internet, which is the 2.4 gigahertz and the 5G. Now there is a difference between the 2.4 and the 5G. Now the 2.4, as you read here, it have a larger coverage area and is better at penetrating solid walls, right? And the max connection speed you can get is 150 megabytes per second, and the range is 410 feet, right? So if you have the 2.4, that means you could walk outside, walk down the road and still pick up your signal. Now the 5G has a higher data rate, is less prone to interference, usually fewer devices using this frequency. The coverage with the 5G is a smaller coverage area, but the connection speed is 1 gigabyte per second and the range is 110 feet amplified. So Flow is not advertising this so that the customer would have a choice in either taking the 2.4 gigahertz or the 5G. Now, they are going to give us what they feel is right. But if my devices can only carry the 2.4 gigahertz, then I am able to get a max speed of 150 megabytes per second, because the 2.4 bandwidth can carry up to 150 megabytes. I don't need a device that carries the 5G to get this speed. Now, as I said, this is what they're advertising, 100 megabytes per second. Now, what Flow is saying is that you must have a device that carries 5G, that is able to pick up the 5G in order to get this speed. But what we are seeing here is that if you have a device that only carries 2.4, you are capable of getting that 100 megabits of internet speed. So I am looking at this as false advertising, as I would read here. To me, this is misleading representation of service. That is what I am looking at here. Let me pause for a second. So after going to and fro with Flow, they realize that I am just not taking it easy or taking it lightly, as one would say. After proving to them that I am not the problem, but they are the problem, they came and changed my modem, and they changed the channel that I was on. Eventually, I start to get different speeds. So let us pause for a cause. So my point here is really, if I am paying for, if it's 100 megabytes and my system could only carry the 2.4 band, then I am able to get 100 megabytes, and I don't have to have a system carrying the 5G. So I should have a choice to either get what I'm paying for on the 2.4 bandwidth or the 5G bandwidth. So this is information that Flow is keeping away from the customer, and we should demand that we get the proper information so that we could make the best choice for our money. Because if you have more than one device in your home, you are still able to use the 2.4 than you have 5G, which is a smaller coverage. So this is what I would like to admonish consumers. Pay for what you are getting. Demand what you are paying for. In this time where money is very hard, we need to do that. Come together and demand what we are paying for. So I will leave other information of what I did in order to reach this stage. So that's all for now. Let us be wise. If you have already gotten your internet, check the speed. You check the speed with speedtest.net, and the server, you go in the server here and find Flow Shogunus. So as you see here, find Flow Shogunus, pull up your speed test and see what speed you'll be getting. So as you see, this is the network that we pulled up just now in Cuba, and this is the download speed that we're getting. So when you come here, you look for Flow. This is Flow here, and you check your speed, and you would know how much speed you are getting. So as you see, we are getting a 82.91 download. Alright, so this is how you check your speed, and we go from there. As a consumer have rights, don't forget that. And for your information, who do we complain to? Telecommunication Authority of Trinidad and Tobago. These are the people that I worked with in order to make my complaint. Who did I speak with? This is the lady that I spoke with. When I complained to Flow, this is their email address.